Hey everybody, I'm Ace Trainer Liam and today I'm going to make you cry. Well, not really, but I'm probably going to cry because today I'm running down the top 5 saddest Pokémon Goodbyes. Now generally, the Pokémon universe is a very upbeat place. It's a place where dreams come true, good triumphs over evil, and we meet plenty of friends along our journey. But sadly, because we're all on different journeys, sometimes we have to part ways with our friends, and that can be pretty tough to deal with. This list comprises of 5 instances where Pokémon has given us that little dose of realism, both touching our hearts and breaking them at the same time. Number 5. Squirtle's goodbye in the firing squad. Squirtle had been in Ash's party since episode 12, so for a kid who'd been watching Squirtle for over 130 episodes, it was sad to see him leave the show. The episode itself wasn't particularly sad. I mean, Ash didn't even cry when he was waving goodbye to Squirtle, and even the little montage of Squirtle's time as part of the team seemed a little bit lackluster. I mean, the saddest part of this episode was that Squirtle didn't get a good enough send-off. Number 4. Charizard in Charizard's Burning Ambition. Much like Squirtle, Ash's Charmander joined the team very early on, the episode before Squirtle in fact, and as with all his Pokémon at the time, Ash and Charmander had a very strong bond. This changed however when Charmander evolved into Charmeleon as it stopped obeying Ash, and this only got worse when Charmeleon evolved into Charizard. Charizard had no respect for Ash at this point and even cost him his chance to win the Indigo League. Eventually, when we reached the episode Charizard Chills, Ash and his Charizard bonded after Charizard got frozen by a Poliwrath and Ash spent an entire night thawing him out. Charizard's time as an obedient member of Ash's team was short-lived, as when they arrived in the Charisific Valley, Ash realised that his Charizard was quite weak compared to all the other wild Charizards that were there, and that really his Charizard should stay there to train and become even stronger. This episode ended quite emotionally because Ash couldn't bring himself to say goodbye to his Charizard and ended up running away with tears in his eyes. It was quite a powerful image, knowing that Ash cared so much about his Charizard that he literally could not say goodbye to it. Number 3. Team Rocket's Arbok and Weezing in the episode A Poached Ego. The Team Rocket duo of Jessie and James are 2 of my favourite characters in the Pokémon anime. I find myself caring about them more than I care about Ash, which is a bit strange really, because they're supposed to be the bad guys. But they've shown on many occasions that they are deep down caring, emotional people, and the episode A Poached Ego is a perfect example of that. Now, Arbok and Weezing first appeared as Koffing and Ekans in the 2nd episode of the anime, and the episode where they leave comes over 270 episodes later. So over time we've become attached to Arbok and Weezing. We've come to expect them in most episodes. So to realise they were leaving, that was a big impact. The story of the episode is simple. Team Rocket stumble across a poacher who has a Fearow and a Pupitar and is trying to steal some wild Koffing and Ekans in order to take them to his client who wants a big collection of poison Pokemon. Team Rocket originally want to steal the Koffing and Ekans for themselves, but when they realise that Arbok and Weezing want to protect the Koffing and Ekans, they decide to help. The end of the episode sees the poacher's Pupitar evolve into Tyranitar and begin using Hyper Beam over and over again, and overpowering Arbok, Weezing, and the wild Koffing and Ekans. And Team Rocket come to the decision that Arbok and Weezing need to take the wild Ekans and Koffing and go, and not come back. The end of the episode is an emotional scene where Arbok and Weezing watch as Team Rocket throw themselves in the way of Tyranitar's Hyper Beam and get destroyed over and over again, trying to stall to give Arbok and Weezing enough time to escape with the wild Koffing and Ekans. The thing that lets this episode down is there's no emotional montage of Weezing and Arbok fighting alongside Team Rocket, and Team Rocket's fight with Tyranitar, even though it is kind of emotional and quite powerful, at the same time it's a little bit too comical, with Meowth using Fury Swipes and still making wise cracks, you know, almost like he's not taking the situation too seriously, and with Jessie and James both claiming to be using their own Fury Swipes. It just watered down the emotion that little bit. The saddest part of it is we haven't seen Arbok and Weezing since. Number 2. Piplup in Memories Are Made of Bliss. The story of this episode is that Ash and Brock's journey in Sinnoh is coming to an end, and they're spending one final day with Dawn and her Pokémon before they say their goodbyes and head on the ferry back to Kanto. Now ultimately, because Piplup doesn't want to say goodbye to everybody because it can't handle it, it runs away, and Ash and Dawn send out a search team to look for them consisting of Togekiss, Staraptor, and Pikachu. This leads to a very emotional scene where the search party finds Piplup, Togekiss stops Piplup from running away, looks down at it, and Piplup just breaks down and bursts into tears, runs over to Pikachu, still in tears, starts hitting Pikachu in the chest because it doesn't know how to handle its emotions. It's a heart-wrenching scene, and the music in the background, called Tears After Cloudy Weather, is such an emotional piece of music, it just cuts through me. That scene is one of the most powerful scenes I've ever seen in Pokemon. There was so much emotion going into it, and it really touched me. but there is one other episode that wipes the floor with it. Butterfree in Bye Bye Butterfree. This is, without a doubt, the saddest goodbye in the entire Pokémon anime. I don't know how people don't cry when they watch this. The whole episode revolves around Butterfree finding a mate and flying off into the sunset, but the ending of the episode is such a powerful one. We have Butterfree and Ash saying their goodbyes. We're greeted by an emotional montage of Butterfree's original capture as a Caterpie, when it evolved into Metapod, when it evolved into Butterfree, its time in Ash's party as a Butterfree, and it brings back so many good memories from the anime that it really touches my heart. And again, Tears After Cloudy Weather is playing in the background, and that's cutting through me. It's such an emotional piece of music, and the whole thing together is a cry fest. That section of the episode is so emotional that me talking over it can't do it justice. Thanks everybody for watching the video, I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments section what your saddest moments in the Pokemon anime were. Links to Facebook, Twitter and Instagram are in the description below. Feel free to follow me on any of those, and of course subscribe so you don't miss my next video. But until then, keep on training.